Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelites with the universal practical knowledge. We've been on these streets since 1969, trying to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true knowledge and their true history. We've been trying to explain to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians across the four corners of the earth that your race, your nationality, which is how the Bible describes race, race is in the Bible, okay? Your nationality, it's referred to as your nation. Your nation or your race matters according to God. Okay, we've been taught a certain amount of lies here inside of America and here inside the Christian church that the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under the power of the Most High in Christ, are trying to destroy. That's why the Scripture says we fight not against, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities. We're fighting against the powers on this earth that lie to our people. Okay, give me Genesis 1 and 26. We're going straight to the beginning to find out one lie. First thing you have to, okay, keep going. Read from the top.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
Let what?
Make man in
let
our...
what? No, wait, you're missing one word. Let what?
Let us.
Let what?
Let us.
So what is that word there? People always ask this, why does God say, oh, what's called, let us make man? What's called, why is it what's called, but it's only God? Why is that? You know what's up?
Who's the us?
Yeah, who's the us? Who are the multiple people that are talking?
The angels.
The angels. Christ and the angels are the people that's talking here. The Most High God is a boss, okay? Like nobody, okay, what's called? A boss does not do anything. Meaning, what do I mean when I say a boss doesn't do anything? A boss picks up a phone call or answers a Zoom call so that the CEO who actually runs the company and does all the actual heavy lifting can say, yeah, everything you said should be done is getting done. That's Yahweh. That's the angels. The Most High gives orders. They carry out those orders in the Most High's name. Just like we were given orders to raise up our people. And we do it in the Most High's name. Okay, keep reading.
Make man in our image.
Now, what's the problem with that? People think, okay, because of this oppressor, his simplicity of taking things for what they are at face value, you don't understand what that means. What is an image or a reputation? Or what is an image to blacks and Hispanics? Because that's who wrote this book. This book was written by our people. So when we think of image, what do we think of?
Reputation.
Your reputation, your rep. I got an image to keep up. Okay, that's what image and reputation is about. Okay, it's about reputation. What does it mean when it says that? In our image, the reputation of Christ and the angels is like I just said. They were given orders by the Most High, and they carried those orders out in His name. What is our image and what is our reputation? We can be given orders by the Most High and carry them out in His name. Okay, let us make man in our image. How does that differ from any other animal? You can only tell a dog to do so much. You can only tell a parrot to mimic so much. There's a lot of animals you can't really control, right? But humans, you can sit us down. We have a level of intelligence where you can sit us down, explain something to us, and we can move in a certain way. We can create civilization and society, which is what was created by Adam, and you're going to see that later on. Okay? But that's what separates us from man. And you're going to see further of that separation. Keep going.
After our likeness.
After our likeness. And they're going to be like us. Right? Keep going.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle.
Now, what does that mean? God gave what's called the Most High and the angels, okay, gave man control over the earth. How do we have control over the earth, y'all? What's up today? It's very simple.
Who is we?
Humans. Who are we talking about? He gave them dominion over the fish. He gave them dominion over the bee. Yeah, dominion over the fish, dominion over the fowls, dominion over the cattle. And over every creeping thing.
To domesticate them?
No, not so much. Now understand, he started this by saying, we're going to make them in our image.
Right.
His image is his reputation. The reputation of the angels is that they can carry out orders. They're given instructions and they carry out those instructions. Then he says, I'm giving you dominion over the fish, the birds, the cattle, and the creeping thing. Come.
Intelligence.
Intelligent, giving who intelligence?
The man.
Intelligence to?
The man.
No, to do what?
To capture them, kill them, control them.
Okay, capture and kill them, but mainly why? What would be the purpose and why is it important that you have the image of reputation of following instructions? I'll give you a hint. Another word for instruction is law. Why would I want to tell you all these animals are yours to use for purpose, right? But also, at the same time, I also, before that, gave you instruction. Right?
Right.
Do you understand now? La?
That's where the dominion comes from, right?
The dominion, but what is the dominion? What makes me dominant over livestock or cattle or beasts of the field? What makes me dominant over water, any animal in the water or likes to be in the water?
That you're more intelligent than them?
Yes, but give me more.
That's all I got.
What makes me dominant? You know, it's all good if you don't know. It's just
you was given that power to do so.
Should you always use that power?
Yeah, you're gonna die. It's already.
No. You should always use that power. Remember, we're given,
over the air. Yeah.
So I should use that power to kill a pig and eat it.
Is pig considered cattle?
Yeah. Pig is on a farm.
Pig has its purpose. So yeah.
So I know. Should I kill it and eat it though?
That's not what it's saying here.
No. I'm asking you. I can't, right? That's the dominion. I gave you the power to receive instruction and be able to say, when I tell you, eat the cow, don't eat the pig, I expect you to do such. Just like I told the angels, what's it called? Make sure everything in here has sex with and then reproduces itself. Meaning what? A dog is not creating a cat, and a monkey is not creating humans. That's stupidity, like evolution and so on and so forth. Okay? What's it called? I gave you instruction that you can now follow out. Meaning what? Understand this. On a daily basis, here's how you show your control over animals. You wake up and decide what animals live and die. You can decide right now, I'm going to kill a cow. And you're going to go into your fridge and get some beef sausage and you're going to cook it. Your wife's like, I don't feel like killing no cow. I'm going to kill some turkey. She's going to go into the same fridge, take out the turkey sausages, and cook that. You're both going to kill two baby chicks because you want eggs with your breakfast. That's the dominion that he's talking about. That's the dominion that we have of the animals. We get to decide what animals live and die every day. And for what purpose. And what they're used for. Even though, like you said, has a purpose. The pig has a purpose. The purpose don't even always got to be for food. Understand, buffalo and cows and, mainly buffaloes, like you can be used for like a tent and clothing. Cows are mainly used for clothing, period. As well, mainly their hide. I always want some salaki. If anybody online could tell me where I could find some shalom, Yashuam, salaki, where I could find some good, like rawhide, like what's called some nice rawhide boots. Babu Kusha, let me know. Definitely. But yeah, that's dominion. Now keep going. Give me 28.
Verse 28.
Salaki, give me 27, because 27 helps y'all understand something that the Christian church tries to make like incorrect. Like understand this next part. Because we're about to squash a very big piece of Christianity right now.
Verse 27. So God created man in his own image.
Right?
In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
No, you only created male. Keep going. Read it again.
Male and female created he them.
He created female later. Keep read it again.
Male and female created he them.
Meaning what? He created man and woman in the same time frame together. Man and woman were created together. That don't make no sense. First off, let me explain something. Y'all, what's up? Do this make sense? He made the rooster and the chicken together, right? He made the cow and the bull together. Most High in Christ, yeah, Yahshua. Definitely, what's it called? Yeah, that's a pair of rawhide, right? He made the cow and bull together. He made the stag and the doe together. But somehow, Christians believe he created a man and let him be by himself and then waited all this time to give him a woman. Like he didn't create the woman along with the man. Christianity is simple. Christianity doesn't think. Okay? Keep reading.
Verse 28. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
Be fruitful and multiply, right? Keep going.
And replenish the earth and subdue it.
Sub what?
Subdue it.
Sub what?
Subdue it.
Now you see what it's saying? That's what dominion is. Subduing the earth. Meaning we're going to come into power. Y'all lions can't live in this place. I know this was your pride lands. Now we're making a city here, though. Y'all got to go over there. That'll be your pride lands. And because I have dominion and I'm a good and fair ruler, I won't be like the white man and just mow you down. Y'all can live in the pride lands. I won't go nowhere near you. That's where the lions live. Everybody, unless you want to die, don't go over there. Okay? These, what's it called? I see the bulls, right? I see that that I can use them for things. I can use them for food. I can use them for milk. I can use them to, what is that? Farm work, agriculture. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kidnap some of them because I have the dominion. I'm going to subdue all these other races. I'm going to kidnap or take in a weak wolf. And then over a process of time, I'm going to breed weakness into this wolf's bloodline until I create a whole new breed of wolf that's just such a weak bastard. All it does is wait for me hand and foot to feed it. It has no necessarily a hunting instinct, but it does have a protective instinct. That's no longer a wolf, that's a dog. That's me taking something from its family and forcing it to be another way through breeding and control. God said that's okay to do. Subdue them. Subdue the earth. Keep going.
And have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Have dominion over the fish of the sea. We're doing the same thing in the ocean. Keep going.
And over the fowl of the air.
Over the fowls of the air. Read on.
And over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
And every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Now, meaning what? God is okay with Khan. Khan, what's your question?
Every living thing that includes humanity.
Khan.
Khan.
Well, actually, we're going to get that. Bible Kushah, if you could, give me Peter's 3 and 8. Bible Kushah.
First Peter?
Yeah, First Peter's 3 and 8.
Oh.
Wait, so I can give me 2 Peter's 3 and 8, I believe. Yeah, 2 Peter's 3 and 8. Read what you got.
Second Peter, chapter 3, verse 8. Beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years.
What?
As 1,000 years.
What?
As 1,000 years.
One day with the Most High is as
1,000 years.
One day with God is as 1,000 years, right? But why is this important? What do the Christians say the earth was made in what? No. Keep going. Read the next part.
And 1,000 years as one day.
But 1,000 years is one day. Meaning what? You have to understand, blacks and Hispanic community people are the children of God. Like our Father, we do not have a concept of time. That's why your mans might always say, y'all be downstairs in a second, 10 minutes later. He's still up there with his shorty. Your wife, saying, I'll be ready in an hour. You purposely show up 30 minutes later. She's still not even getting in the shower yet, right? Our people have no concept of time, okay? Like the Most High. It took me a day. It took me a day to create the earth. That's what the Most High is saying in Genesis. And Peter is letting you know this, and letting you know this now. That 1,000 years is as a day to him, and a day is as 1,000 years. Most High has no concept of time. So you can't take him literally seriously when he says, I created the earth in a day. Drop that, go back to Genesis, give me 1:31.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Now, meaning what? Mankind was made on the sixth day. Understand, this is the birth of humanity as a whole. Okay? Adam and Eve were not the first humans. Okay? We're going to get into that right after this. But you need to understand this to understand. All of creation was done in 6 days, or what appears to be 6 days, or what the Most High refers to as 6 days. It was not 6 literal days, as you and I would know it. As in 6 solar, what is it? No, whole revolution would be a rotation. Yeah, like it was not 6 literal solar rotations around the planet. Had to remember the difference between revolution and rotation, Salakia. Okay? It was a large span of time that to God would literally feel like a day. Okay? Meaning what? After everything was done on the 6th day, inspection was done. Like I said, the Most High is a boss, and like a boss or a CEO, after everything's done, after everything's, I'm going to come in here and inspect your work. I'm going to come in and see if everything you did is correct. Okay, yeah, I like that. The apples aren't growing, the apple seeds aren't growing more oranges. The wind isn't going willy-nilly. Y'all have a system of air moving from a high pressure system directly into a low pressure system. The water, isn't going wherever it goes. And there's a certain time when a large amount of it may start to evaporate or vaporize or turn into what would appear to be a gas, go into the atmosphere where their conditions are made so that it can create a more basically a cloud and then rain. All of this is correct and wise. That's what it means when God created everything and it was good, saw everything and it was good. Drop that. Give me verse 2 and 1. We're gonna try to breeze through this a bit.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heaven.
If anybody got any questions on or off subject, let me know. Baba Shah. Keep going.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them.
Meaning the heavens and the earth were finished and all the host of them. Meaning everything that's going to inhabit it, okay, were finished in 6 days, right? Understand that. Keep going.
Verse 2. It's like I have a question.
Come.
You mean as of something of 6,000 years?
Don't even think 1,000 years. The 1,000 isn't even accurate. Just around.
As of. Right?
What do you mean?
as of 1,000 years. You just said day, so it's like as of 6,000 years, right?
Like you wouldn't want to say, you could say 6 million, you could say 60 million. It's some long period of time.
Right.
I don't put a year, I don't put an actual time frame to it. I just read what Peter said, which is think of it like it's 1,000 years. It's some span of time that is astronomical to us. Con. So keep going. And on the 7th?
And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made.
Okay, now, so meaning what? God rested on the 7th day, right? Okay. Give me verse 4.
Come on.
Okay, the 7th day. This is why the 7th day is holy to the Most High, because we, like him, as his people, are to follow in his footsteps. He rested after 7 days, so are we. Okay, the 7th day of rest is actually for health reasons. You cannot, understand, the reason for the 7th day of rest is not for the point of 7th day of rest. People think that the Bible is some religious book. The Bible is a book of law. The Bible is literally, honestly, a book to protect the weak. That is literally the purpose of the Bible. Like, without the Bible, if I'm a businessman and I'm about money, right? I'm going to work you 7 days a week. And if you have a problem with that, you're fired. Find a new job. Right? This right here is what stops me from being able to do that. People don't understand, a lot of the law isn't necessarily for everybody. Like, there are laws that are specifically for certain facets of society. Like holidays and days off are for your boss, not you. Technically, yes, a person can be penalized for breaking the Sabbath day, like personally, but your boss will definitely get it. Your boss will feel it for you doing it as well, if he's forcing this on you. Keep going.
These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created.
This is the time when they were created. Keep going.
And the day that the Most High Power made the earth and the heavens.
Made the earth and the heavens. So this is the explaining and the going over. This is how the earth was made, right? Right, meaning what? This is how the earth was made. End of story. Okay. Give me verse 5. Because this is what also trips up Christians.
Verse 5. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Most High Power had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground.
Meaning what? What is that saying, sir? Very simple.
I mean, the Most High Power can make plants grow without water.
That's not what he's saying.
It said that every plant of the field before it was in the earth.
Yeah, but that's not what he's saying. There's water involved. You got to read the next verse for that. But what is he saying in here? There was no, think about what he said at the end.
And every herb of the field before it grew, for the Most High Power had not caused it to rain upon the earth.
Keep going.
And there was not a man to till the ground.
Now notice, what's already exists though?
Man.
So what is this saying about man?
He didn't have full dominion.
No, it's not about dominion, because it's the ground. What is this saying about man though? He didn't what?
He didn't till the ground.
But why wouldn't he till the ground? It's very simple. He didn't know. Agriculture,
Didn't have dominion.
No, it wasn't about dominion. He didn't, meaning, dominion is this. I can go in here and I can force you to do this. I can go into the woods and force that and kill the deer. There's no like, I can't stab the ground or tell the ground, you better give me seed and give me seed from this apples. I have to actually know. I have to eat part of the apple, take out the seed, put the seed into the earth, and put water on it. Man did not have that capability and that intelligence yet. God, that's what he means. There was no man to till the ground. There was no man to till it because, meaning there was no man to fix the plumbing. There's plenty of men. It's like we've got plenty of men in here. However, none of us are plumbers. None of us know the skills necessary to plumb. There was no man to till the ground. None of the men knew the skills necessary to till the ground. That's all it's saying. Keep reading.
Verse 6. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground.
Now you understand? Like, you ever heard of geysers? You ever seen a geyser? Geyser, it'll be like giant openings, and they'll have vapor or sometimes actual literal water that'll come out of the ground and shoot out of the ground. That's how the Most High used to water things prior to what's it called. That's why it says, verse 6, there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. That's how the earth used to get watered before rain. Come. And then you got to understand groundwater. And then if you go back and read Acts, shout out to Cap because I had him ask Commanding General YAHANNA this one time. You understand, technically, I had to ask him because according to the scriptures, the earth and the plants predate the sun. According to the scriptures. So I had to ask how that was possible. You'll end up finding out the earth itself gives off its own light. So, and then you also have to look at the fact that there's plant life at the bottom of the ocean. Meaning what? The bottom of the ocean is dark as hell. Like the bottom of the ocean is so dark. There are literally animals that the Most High created with lights on their heads. Okay, but there's plant life down there. How? Because there's plants that can't survive in darkness. And over time, they can grow to be able to need sunlight or not need as much darkness, or so on and so forth. Okay, now keep reading. Verse 7, Baba Kasha. Yeah, make sure you turn it down, Baba Kasha.
And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground.
Right.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
The what?
The breath of life.
The what?
The breath of life.
Give me Baruch 4:1 in the Apocrypha, Baba Kasha. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. The Most High formed man of the dust of the ground. Meaning what? 4 and 1. Meaning what? The Most High took man, right? Okay, now what is man? Man is a Hebrew word that basically Adam, from the Hebrew word Adamah, which means from the dust. Now, what did he mean by dust of the ground? Because notice, there's a difference. There's a difference between the dust and the ground. The dust and the ground, right? This is the dust, right? If y'all can see. Now let me move this. This is the dust, right? Up here, this is the ground. The dust, like when I do this, it's going to kick up dust, and that's above. I formed you from the dust of the ground. Meaning what? Humans at this time were basically what the white man refers to as a Neanderthal. They barely spoke language, so on and so forth. Adam was the first man to be given civilization, and understand how to be civilized and societally acceptable, for lack of a better term. Okay, he was given the law, and we're going to prove that in the Bible. The law of the breath that was breathed into Adam is this. Keep going, read.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever.
Right.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Keep it shall what?
Shall come to life.
Shall what?
Shall come to life.
Shall what?
Shall come to life.
Okay, Adam breathed into his God breathed into Adam's nostrils, and he what?
Shall come to life.
And then he listened to his woman, and what happened?
But such as leave it.
Listen to your woman. We'll read that again.
But such as leave it.
What's called not obey God.
Shall die.
Shall what?
Shall die.
Shall what?
Shall die.
If the Most High said, if you eat from this fruit, you shall
die.
That's what's called the breath of life that God breathed into Adam was the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Go back to Genesis, Bible sure. Keep going.
Verse 7.
Yakan.
Book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 7. And the Most High powerful man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Keep going.
And man became a living soul.
Meaning what? He wasn't like everybody else now. Now he understood things like you're supposed to cook your food. These are concepts that Adam created. What's called don't be a murderer. Okay, so on and so forth. All the laws that you'll find in the scriptures were created by Adam himself, the first civilized man. Okay, that's what he truly is. He's the first man to actually have civility inside of him. Okay, thanks to the power of the Most High God. Why? Because the Most High raised him up from the dust. Drop that. Give me 21 and 23.
Verse 21. And the Most High power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
Understand, the first thing you need to know, this word is not sleep. It's like confound or stupefied. Something along the lines of he got caught sleeping. That's what happened. He was not literally asleep. He got caught sleeping. What does that mean? First off, you got to understand this. Rib is not literal. Rib, when you look that word up, can mean your side or a pillar. Meaning what? Something that holds you down, up. Or as we today would say, holds you down. That's what a woman is. A rib is. Right? Okay? That's why it's important to understand this is your race speaking. When you understand that this is your race speaking, you'll understand better what they're saying. Okay? He got caught. Okay, so let me try to explain this in a way y'all could understand. The Most High caught him sleeping and took him a woman from his side, right? And said, this is all you're going to have. Meaning, that's what it means by he closed up the flesh thereof. The Most High decided that Adam personally only was going to have this one wife right now. Keep going, verse 22.
And the rib which the Most High power had taken from man.
Now, meaning what? Here's what you got to understand. Eve is not literally from Adam's rib. Eve is Adam's cousin. And we're going to show you that. Eve is the cousin of Adam. Meaning what? When it says took from man, meaning like, I'm Judah, right? Okay, I'm from the tribe of Judah. So the Most High puts me to sleep and takes a woman or a rib from Judah and gives it to Judah. What did he just do? He took a Judite man's daughter and gave him to another Judite man. He gave man's daughter to man. Meaning what? That was his relative. Okay? Adam and Eve were cousins. That's what this is really trying to say. Okay? Our oppressor, when you have them explain it, they want to take things literally at face value. You can't always do that. Black people don't talk literally. Yo, she bad. Did I say she's ugly? No, I actually said I want to try to get with her. That's what that means over here. Okay? Keep going.
Made he a woman and brought her unto the man.
Now, understand, what's another thing? Made he a woman. Why does it say he made her a woman? What is woman also in Hebrew? It's another word. What is a man in Hebrew? How do you say husband in Hebrew? No, husband? No. Husband in Hebrew is Ayash. Do you know what Ayash is?
No.
Ayash is man. Asha, or Ayasha, if I'm not mistaken, is woman. Meaning what? Man and woman are interchangeable in the Hebrew. Like, we don't say husband and wife. Sis, who's your man? Sis, who's your husband? Sis, you got a man? Sis, you got a husband? It's the same thing. So when the Bible says, what's called, made he a woman, he made him a wife and brought her unto the man. Right? He took this man's daughter and made this daughter this man's wife now. That's what it said. 23.
And Adam said,
Come. Keep going, do your thing.
this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
She was taken out of man, meaning she was taken out of my family. Understand, this is the law on sex. This is the beginning of sex law and marital law. Okay? Adam had no idea he was having sex with his cousin. He thought he was doing what everybody else did, which is go away from you people and get a wife. He lays down with this woman only to find out after the fact, holy crap, this is my cousin. She's a member of my people. He got caught slipping. Okay? Drop that one and prove it. Drop that 2 Samuel 5:1. Because what he said is not a new thing. We could go to Genesis. I could take you in Genesis where it says it, but I'm going to show you another place. There's about 2 times. There's one time in Genesis, and there's one time in Samuel's where the same terminology is used. 2 Samuel 5:1. Got it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get into this. Next, okay, because why is this important? It's important to understand that there's a certain order that the Most High gave on this earth. When that order is disrupted, the Most High punishes you for it.
So you said 2 Samuel chapter 5.
Verse 1, come. You got it?
Come.
Read it.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 1. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone.
What?
We are thy bone.
Thy what?
Thy bone.
Keep going.
And thy flesh.
And I'll read it again. This is Genesis 2:23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Meaning what? This is my family. This is my cousin that I just had sex with. And now she's a part of me. Now we're one flesh. Right? Now drop that. Give me Genesis 6:1. Okay.
The book of Genesis chapter 6 verse 1.
Now we explained to you, God created. Now what is this to understand? God did not want Adam in his, Adam sleeping with other peoples. God specifically got one of Adam's own family, right? For him to procreate with, so that Adam could start a protocol within his people, or basically a law. You do not go outside of this family. We're going to see what happens when that rule was broken years later. Keep going.
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God...
The what?
The sons of God...
Who are the sons of God?
Adam's offspring.
Adam's offspring, prove it. How'd you prove that?
We're talking about Adam.
But prove it. Show me where Adam's called the son of God. Show me where Adam's kids are called the son of God in the scriptures. Give me Luke 3 and 38. How are you at?
The book of Luke, chapter 3, verse 8. Bring forth therefore fruits.
No, Luke 3 and 38.
Come. The book of Luke, chapter 3, verse 38. Which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God.
Son of who?
God.
Who?
God.
So all his children are also the sons of
God.
Right there. So right now go back to 6 and 1 and we're going to kill this. The sons of God saw the daughters of men. So who's the sons of God? We understand that's the sons of Adam, right? The children of Adam.
Right.
Who are the daughters of men now? It's very simple.
The other people.
The other peoples that existed during that time.
Right.
That's their daughters. We're the sons of God. Y'all are just the daughters of men. Keep going.
That they were fair.
That they were fair, meaning what? They were beautiful. They looked pretty. Okay, keep going.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
They took wives of all which they chose. Keep going.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Meaning, I'm not going to sit here and fight with you. I gave y'all specific instructions that I do not like interracial marriage. You now have to understand this. What y'all reading about is the flood. The flood was not caused by blanket wickedness. The flood was caused because the children of Adam, the children of God, wanted to sleep with the other base races of people. And I say that literally, base. Okay? We were above these people. The scripture says that Adam was made Lord of all the Most High's creatures, right? He was above all these other nations, but his descendants thought it was good to call them fair and have sex with them. So God said, I'm not going to fight with you over this. I'm God. You're a human. I'm 6 foot tall. You're barely stronger than a cockroach. Keep going.
For that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Keep going.
Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
Now a giant is basically what? What's it called? A giant, when you look up the word, is Gabar or Nepal, meaning a bully or a tyrant or a warrior. But a giant is not a giant person or a person who had sex with an angel. Okay, the scripture basically tells you angels are not made up like us. What scripture lets you show me the scripture that says an angel can have sex with a human? Enough said. Keep going.
And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men.
Meaning what? Light skin is better. It's better to have a mixed baby. Okay? All of that garbage. Okay? That mixing our seed is somehow going to be better than the holy seed of God. Keep going.
Which were of old, men of renown.
5. Salaki, give me 7.
Verse 7. And the Most High said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Keep going. Okay, keep going.
Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High.
Meaning what? The Most High liked Noah, though. Let's see why.
Verse 9. These are the generations of Noah.
Meaning what? Okay, now here's the thing. When you look this up in Hebrew, this is 2 different words. You see generation in 6 and 9 twice. Okay, I don't got the Zondervan right on me right here. But right, when you look up generations, you'll see 2 words twice. The first word is literally talking about time dilation, right? I'm not sure exactly the word in the Hebrew for the first one, but that's time dilation, meaning what's called, this is the time period of Noah. This is during his generation, right? But what you have to understand, generation also has another meaning other than necessarily about a time period. Take out the first 4 words, and what do you get? Gene. Generation also can mean your biology, your bloodline, okay, your ancestry, which when you go into the Hebrew and you look up the second word, which I believe is some form of yalad, which means to beget, like Abraham beget Isaac, who beget Judah and his brothers, right? What's it called? That generation is talking about bloodline. What does it say about Noah's generation, though? Noah was
a just man.
Right?
And perfect.
In what?
And perfect.
And what?
And perfect.
Keep going.
In his generation.
Keep going.
And Noah walked with God.
Now, what does that mean? He was perfect in his generations. Understand everything we broke down.
He kept the laws.
No. He was perfect in his generations. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What did I just break down about generations? Your generation is your
lineage.
Right. So if he's perfect in his generations, why is the Most High about to flood the earth?
Because they were not perfect.
How are they not perfect?
Because they didn't keep the law.
No, it wasn't necessarily about keeping the law. Something specific they were doing.
They were perfect in their image.
In their what?
Their image.
No, not their image.
I'm lost.
What did the Most High see when he saw the sons of men? What were they doing?
They vexed the Lord.
But how?
They were doing vain things.
That's not what it says. Read verse 2.
The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
That's what they did.
That's again not keeping the law.
Well, no, you got to be specific, because you have to be specific when you're explaining this, because you have to explain to somebody. Interracial marriage is the reason for the flood. And because there is no now, the reason you have to understand that is why they got killed is because they had sex with other races is the reason Noah was saved. So when it says in verse 9, he's perfect in his generations. Now, mind you, the Most High is merciful, meaning he didn't say, oh, I want to marry white women today, so I'm going to kill you tomorrow. He waited. He gave them ample time. It doesn't specify how much time, but it was enough where it was able to say Noah was perfect in his generations. Meaning what? He had no heathens in his family. Every last one of Noah's descendants, male and female, were a descendant of Adam. His generations were perfect. He came from a perfect bloodline. That's how much race matters to God. He let everybody die except for one man with a perfect family lineage. And that's what's important about understanding race matters to God. God will destroy the earth over your race and what you choose to do with that info and that power. Okay. God, give me verse 10.
Verse 10. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Right, now drop that, give me 10 and 1. Give me Genesis 10 and 1. Okay, he begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These are Noah's 3 sons, right? Keep going.
The book of Genesis chapter 10 verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood.
Right, so God created generations for Noah and his children, right? They had children after the flood. But we're going to see how great God was and what he wanted to do after he had already killed everybody, right, for disobeying him, if he wanted to keep everybody together like everybody says. Because the Christian church is based off the lie that God wants everybody to come together. But we're about to see how true that is. Verse 5.
Verse 5. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands.
They were what?
Their lands.
These were the isles of the Gentiles. What?
Divided.
The what? They were what? Divided?
So you're confused.
The word I want is divided. You got to understand these things. You got to what's called, the word you want is divided, because that's what you want in a breakdown like this. This class today is about showing racism. Racism in the Bible. These are the scriptures you need to show that God is a racist. If God wanted everyone to be together, why the hell did he separate the nations? Why the hell did he divide the Gentiles? From John. Okay? This is a large family. In any other time period, this wouldn't even be considered a nation. The amount of people they had. But yet and still, I'm dividing you. Keep going.
I'll start over.
Come.
By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations.
After their families in their nations, right? Now drop that, give me 11 and 1. Now we're going to show another instance of the Most High going in and saying, I'm going to divide you. But here's the thing, though. Before you even get to that, while you're getting 11 and 1, I'm going to just reiterate. Understand, they're talking about we're all the same, but he divided them by language. Like, we don't speak the same language. He divided them by family. We're not a part of the same familial group. I'm what's called Shemitic. I'm a Negro. You're a goddamn, Asian. We're not from the same group. He's white, you're East Indian. Y'all aren't from the same group. There's a separation. Notice we all look different. And what do I mean by that? I don't magically come out purple and my mother is pink. My mama black, so I'm black. See how that works? Division. And then, because he's so wise and the men under him have such a great image or reputation, they were able to do it correctly and have organization. Right? Now drop that. Give me verse 11 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1.
But here's the problem. Y'all can't accept what the Most High puts down. Y'all want to think y'all have such great ideas yourselves. Keep going.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
Meaning what? Everybody spoke the same goddamn thing. Right? Everybody could communicate with each other. This is what they decided to do with that power. 4.
Verse 4. And they said, go to let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth.
The whole earth. Meaning what? Let us go up and fight God. That's what they mean by that. They make us a name. Okay? Meaning what? Let us make us a name. Let's put our name in heaven. Let's be the top dogs of heaven. These idiots literally thought you could build a ladder to heaven. Right? Keep going, verse 5. Because they feared the Most High's plan. They understood the Most High is not for integration. The Most High is not for everybody coming together. Stay in your house. Stay in your lane. I created a lane for you and you stay there. Everybody's not mixing. This is not a free-for-all. America's idea of a melting pot is blowing up in their faces right now. Okay? That's why the Capitol was just attacked last weekend or last week. Because the idea of a melting pot goes against what God ordained from the beginning, since the flood. The nations are not to come together. They are to be divided and separated. Keep going.
Verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they all have one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Now, what's the first thing he's thinking when he sees them building this ladder to heaven? Now, understand, think like a person who lives in 21st century society. Come.
You reiterate the question.
Meaning, God sees these idiots trying to build a literal ladder into heaven. Now, with a 21st century brain, what's the first thing that comes to mind to you? If anybody online wants to try to answer, it's very simple. You don't know?
Wow.
Is that possible?
What is possible?
To build a ladder to heaven.
Yes.
It's possible to build a ladder to heaven.
Yes, sir.
How?
And within this time, they try to do it with
and it'll take you to actual heaven.
I can speak for today's time.
It'll take you to the Most High's throne room, is what I'm saying. That's what they mean by heaven.
And will this lock it, sir, man?
Come.
That's what NASA's space program.
But will you actually get there?
There's more than one heaven. So in their logic, in their little brain, right?
Okay, but hold up. Come, but I'm saying, will it take you to the Most High's throne room? Which is the place they're trying to get to. Let's go there to make a name for ourselves. Their idea was to go to his throne room and dethrone God. Is that possible?
Of course it's not possible.
So what's the first problem with that? First off, you can't build the ladder to heaven the way they're doing it. I wasn't even talking about NASA. I'm talking about literally back then. That's why I said, with your 21st century brain or your understanding, would that be possible? And what's the first problem with that? You can't do that. First off, the altitude will kill you. You get a first few thousand, skyscrapers are what's called, but even that's a little too high. And you go up a little too high up, you're gonna freeze to death, or you're gonna lose oxygen. That's a complete waste of resources. So read verse 8.
Verse 8.
Well, no, verse 7.
Sure.
Okay, no, stop and let me get this out. And this they begin to do. Meaning I gave y'all the ability to actually congregate and be able to do something for yourselves, right? Now, let me explain to you. What I'm saying may sound harsh. There's a reason for it. And the Bible explains it to you. Y'all all got the same language. Y'all can be together and do y'all. And y'all want to sit here and make a ladder to heaven to try to fight me. Like, what type of sense do that make? Y'all not making logical decisions here, I see. You're not being intelligent with the ability to congregate and all be able to think and say the same things and communicate with each other. Right? Then what did he say? And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. You understand what that means?
Sure.
Meaning, if you're stupid enough to think that you can literally sit here and keep piling brick on 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 brick till you get all the way to heaven, then you're definitely stupid enough to go to a doctor, have him cut off your rod, and start calling yourself a girl. You're definitely stupid enough to lower the sex age, the age of consent in California to 10 years old to some bullcrap. You're definitely stupid enough to legalize drugs. You're definitely stupid enough to listen to Al Sharpton and Barack Obama and Dr. King. You are definitely stupid enough to vote for Donald Trump. And you're definitely stupid enough to vote for Donald Trump, get mad that he lost, and risk your safety and life to cause a siege on the capital of the most powerful nation on earth. You're an idiot if you believe that you can literally build a stairway to heaven. No, not you. I'm saying the brothers that believe that. Okay, keep going.
Verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language.
Meaning what? Let's deal with this. I'm going to help them out. And then he gave them Chinese and Japanese and Korean and Swahili and whatever the Ethiopians speak and the Philistines and so on and so forth and the, what is it, Hindu? The East Indian, or whatever the hell the East Indians speak. Technically, I don't even think Chinese is called Chinese. It's called Mandarin. But yeah, basically that's what he did. Let me help you out with that. Keep going.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
Keep going.
Verse 8. So the Most High scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city.
Keep going.
Verse 9. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Most High did there.
And that's where the English name comes from too. The English word comes from too. Babel, like the Babel, because everybody like kid. Like I'm saying, yo, move that. You saying kid? How you say that? How you say again in Spanish?
What are you trying to say?
Like what he say?
¿Qué dice?
¿Qué dice? Oh, dice. ¿Qué dice? Yeah, it's confusion. That's what happens. Okay, God does not want the races mixing. Okay, he ain't got much, too much time. We're gonna get into these though. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and we're gonna start to end off. We're gonna do these real quick. Okay, the Most High is not for interracial marriage, and the nations coming together. Seven and 6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power.
Right.
The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people.
Holy means to be set apart, right? To be separated. We're separated from all the other nations on earth, right? Keep going.
Unto himself.
We've been chosen to be a special people unto God. Okay, if you separate something and then make it special, that's racism, especially in the context of a people. Keep going.
Above all people that are
what?
Above all people.
Above all people that are upon what?
The face of the earth.
Everybody on earth, we're above them. That's racism. Your race matters to God. If you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, God don't, what's it called? The Most High is not dealing with you. Okay, give me 2nd Ezra 6 and 53. Okay. I didn't include those. Come on, keep going. Bible share. We about to end off soon.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 53. upon the 6th day, thou gavest commandment unto the earth,
Right.
that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things.
Right. Right. Keep going.
Verse 54, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
Right. Adam was made Lord over everything. Meaning all the animals I created on the 6th day, Adam was made Lord over. When you read the Bible tells you clearly, God created man on the 6th day. Meaning what? Adam was over all the other men on that day too. Keep going. Right?
Of him come we all.
Now, here's the thing that these Christians like to tell you. We're all Adam's children, right? Keep going.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Meaning what? Everybody comes from Adam, but there's also people that God chose that came from Adam. And that's what's important. Keep going.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh.
Keep going.
Because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Meaning what? You made the world for our sakes. Everything on this earth, in this context, world would mean earth, because he's talking about the age, the society, everything that will ever be. Meaning what? That will be ours. That was created. The Ishmael, understand, Ishmael exists. Okay? Ishmael exists mainly because somebody's going to have to make my chopped cheese in the kingdom of heaven. The Chinese exist because somebody's going to do my wife's nails in the kingdom of heaven. This world was made for our sakes. All the diamonds that are in Africa belong to us, not the Africans. Those diamonds belong to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The world was made for our sakes. God just said it right there. The people he hath chosen. Keep going.
Verse 56. As for the other people.
As for the other people, meaning the world, the people that the world wasn't made for their sakes. Keep going.
Which also come of Adam.
Which also come from Adam. Keep going.
Thou hast said.
You said.
That they are nothing.
They are what?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
They aren't anything. Keep going.
But be like unto spittle.
Spittle is spit. That's how he, wait, slug it. Likened, yeah, keep going.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And
likened them to a drop, the abundance of them, meaning what? The entirety of the Chinese, the Asians, the Europeans, the Africans, East Indians, all these other peoples, is like a drop in the bucket to him. Whereas the world was literally made for my sake. This earth exists for my happiness, my well-being, and my benefit, not theirs. They're the other people that just come from Adam, right? Now, what's called, all these Christians are going to say that everything I'm saying is in the Old Testament. That's done away with. No sweat. Drop that. Give me Matthew 10:1. And we're going to see straight out what Christ had to say. Okay? About dealing with these people. Okay?
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 1. And when he called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Mind you, that what's called, if you never noticed, that's where that prayer comes from, if I'm not mistaken. Drop to verse 5.
Verse 5.
Okay, now stop, Salakia. Meaning, what did he do? He gave them the ability to do everything he does, right? Heal the sick, raise the dead, so on and so forth. Keep going.
These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Meaning what? He divided what's called, don't go to the other nations. Right? Keep going.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
That's a lesson for Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon needs to listen to this video. Somebody send this video and tweet this video to Nick Cannon so he can see this, because he's disgusted. The Most High is disgusted with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon showed a supreme level of cowardice by going up and knuckling up with them goddamn devils. Okay? Now I want to call himself a goddamn Moor. You are a goddamn Jew. You are not no goddamn Moor. Why am I saying this? Because the Most High God and Jesus Christ said, do not go amongst the Samaritans. The Samaritans are a bunch of frauds who are going around saying that they were us and taking on our culture fraudulently, because they're not our people. Okay? No different than the Jewish man does. But instead, that's who you want to knuckle up with. Jesus Christ is telling his disciples right here, you better never do that. Okay, what we got over here, what we're offering over here is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep going.
But go rather,
you don't go to a white man. You don't go to an African. You don't go to a Jewish man. But you do go to, keep going.
The lost sheep.
The what?
The lost sheep.
What is a lost sheep? The dopeheads that are in Puerto Rico. What's a lost sheep? The teenage prostitutes in Haiti that are only prostitutes because they were forced into the life at the age of 5 and 6. That's the lost sheep. She has no other guidance in her life other than that a black man by the name of Yatazar, through the strength of Jesus Christ, another black man, were to take a trip and teach her she does not have to be a whore for some filthy, disgusting pimp. Keep going.
Of the house of Israel.
Keep going. Now drop that. That's the end of that, right? No, keep going.
Verse 7. And as ye go.
So when you go to these Israelites, right, who you're only allowed to go to them, here's what you're supposed to tell them. Because Christians say we can all go to heaven. Read on.
Preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
When you look up preach, that's an old English word that just means the same as teach. Teach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and only teach this to the Israelites. That's literally what Jesus just said. Give me 15 and 24 real quick. Baba Kushar. Real quick.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Christ was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He was not sent to anybody else. Right? Give me John 4 and 22, Baba Kushar. Okay, we're skipping through some. Now, for those who don't know, there's a scripture at the end of Matthew when it says, go and teach all nations everything that I taught you. We just showed you Christ taught his disciples, you only go to Jews. And I can show you in here, or you could come back in the next week or so, I'll do a lesson on it. The Gentiles that the New Testament speaks about are only Jews. So when he told them to go into all nations, he's talking about the Jews that are scattered within those nations. I didn't get that breakdown. Just let me know. Anybody put it in the chat, let us know. Most High in Christ, Khan, synagogue of Satan. You got John?
Okay.
4 and 22, read it, Baba Kushar.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Yeah. Ye worship, ye know not what.
You don't know what you're worshiping, right? Okay, these Christians, they have no idea that the Bible is this racist. They have no idea that the Bible is against interracial marriage. Most people don't even realize that's a sin. Like most people today don't realize that it is sin in the Bible to go outside of your race. That's sad. Okay? You don't know what you're worshiping. You don't realize that Jesus Christ is a fervent racist. Jesus Christ a few verses ago called this woman a whore. Keep going.
We know what we worship.
However, we know what we worship. We know exactly the power that we're worshiping over here. And it's not something to be trifled with. Keep going.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Is of the who?
Of the Jews.
Of the who?
Of the Jews.
The salvation is of the Jews. Right? The only way to get into the kingdom is you have to be a Jew. You have to be an Israelite. And so people aren't confused. Give me verse 23 so we can get an understanding. Being an Israelite doesn't mean anything. The scribes and the Pharisees were Israelites. Okay? They didn't make it into the kingdom unless they repented. Okay? Give me verse 23, Bible Sure.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit.
Now stop. What is worshiping the Father in spirit? And what is a true worshiper? A true worshiper is someone who takes in these laws. These laws say I can't deal with a woman outside of my race. And I have to teach her. Law also says I have to teach my children the same. These laws tell me what's called that I should love my brother more than myself. These laws tell me that to prefer my own. You know, that's what the Bible, you know, Christ said that. Paul said that. Prefer your own one before another. Meaning what? I should only love my own. The Bible is exclusive, not inclusive. The Bible is not an inclusive book. It is not about inclusion. Okay? Anything else I really need? Give me Romans 9 and 3. We're going to end it off in a second. Okay? We're going to get this. Romans 9 and 3, and we're about to end off. John.
The book of Romans chapter 9 verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ.
Right?
For my brethren.
For what?
My brethren.
I wish I could be accursed from Christ for my brethren. Keep going. Not everybody in the world. Not everybody on the planet. Right? My brethren. Keep going.
My kinsmen.
My kinsmen, right?
According to the flesh.
The what?
The flesh.
The what?
The flesh.
According to the flesh. You can't deny this. He is talking about his literal flesh and blood. Keep going.
Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Who are Israelites?
Keep going. We're going to breeze through this real quick.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
Adoption of what? Adoption of being God's child. That only pertains to an Israelite. Next.
And the glory.
The glory of God. The glory that comes from being called the children of God only belongs to an Israelite. Next.
And the covenants.
The covenant. What are the covenants? Your children will rule the earth. Your seed will rule the planet. That's the covenant that he made with our fathers. Right? Keep going.
And the giving of the law.
The giving of the law. Meaning what? You shouldn't be a murderer. And if you're not a murderer, I'll put you above everybody. And if you are a murderer, I'll put you beneath everybody. No one else suffers from this but us. The Italian man murdered for decades, close to half a century, his own people within his own neighborhood. Their senators, their union delegates, their millionaires and billionaires. You know what they are? Sitting in jail cells on RICO cases, in drug pin cases, and their wives strung out on drugs, and their children still on the same corner selling the same drugs that they had to, and committing the same petty thefts that they had to. But that's what happens to us. The giving of the law was only pertains to Israel, because we're the only ones who suffer. Keep going.
And the service of God.
And the service of God. Meaning what? Serving God only pertains to us. We're the only people expected at Passover. A white man is not allowed inside of Passover. Seriously, that is a death penalty crime. If a white man or any other heathen were to try to enter into the service, they'd be put to death. You can look this up. That's Jeremiah 1 and 10. The heathen have entered in thy sanctuary, which thou hast said they may not enter into. The law is only for us. The Bible is racist. God is racist. I'm sorry, your pastor's been lying to you. Keep going.
And the promises.
And the promises. I promise I'll raise your nation up, and you'll have more kids than there are sands in the sea. He's not doing that for everybody. The white man's going extinct. That's all over the news. Every 5 months, yeah, the number of white people that are being born is going down. Keep going.
Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
Christ came, meaning what? Christ came only for these people and their fathers and their people. Drop that, give me 13. Right?
Verse 13.
Because they try to say God is all love, God is all love. Well, read this. We're going to see about some love. Keep going.
As it is written.
Meaning that is already written. Meaning what? If you ever try to see a Christian try to say, oh, that was written in the Old Testament, well, what did Paul use? How did Paul validate himself? The Old Testament. As it is written. Keep going.
Jacob have I loved.
God does love. God loved Jacob. Keep going.
But Esau have I hated.
Esau have I hated. Right? Esau is the, what's called, is the one that I hated. Okay? I don't love, I love Jacob, but I hate Esau. Right? Keep reading, go.
What shall we say then?
Okay, now, so what are we going to say? Keep going.
Is there unrighteousness with God?
What does that mean? Is there unrighteousness with God? Who can answer? You know? It's very simple. Is God messed up? Is God wrong? Is God evil? Why would you ask if God is evil? Why would a person ask that? It's very simple. How are you going to create something and hate it? So now they're asking the question, is there unrighteousness with God? Is God wrong to do this? To hate, to only love Israel, but hate everybody else, or not care about everybody else, and especially hate Esau. Even though Esau was born and created the way God wanted him to be. Keep going, keep reading.
God forbid.
God what?
Forbid.
God's not unrighteous for it. Why? Keep going.
For he saith unto Moses,
right?
I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
What did Bobby Brown say? It's my prerogative. That's the truth. I get to make the choice. I get to sit here, if I'm the parent, I get to sit here and say, you're older, she's younger. 3 weeks punishment, a week and a half punishment, or no punishment. I'll show mercy to whom I'll show mercy, and I'll show compassion to whom I'll show compassion. Translation, mind your goddamn business before I close your mouth for you. Mind your business. If you're getting some compassion, just take your compassion, shut up and get in the corner. Don't worry about why I'm beating him. Just know I'm not beating you and be happy for it. Keep going.
Verse 16. So that it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
Meaning what? Nothing we did and nothing our oppressors or our enemies didn't do got us in this position. The Most High literally said, this is who I love, this is who I don't love. End of story. That's it. And we just got to deal with it, because that's what he said. Keep going.
For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up.
Now, meaning what? Now he's explaining something. Why is our oppressor in such a great position if God loves us and hates them? Read that from the top. Now we're about to read about another time when our people were at a low position and another nation was on a high position above us. Keep going.
For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up.
Even for the same purpose, meaning the purpose of taking my people out, right? Have I raised thee up? I want to keep going.
That I might show my power in thee.
And what did the Most High do? He showed his power in Egypt by destroying Egypt. Keep going.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Meaning what? I did this, I created Egypt and made it a great superpower so I could destroy it and I could be even better. The only reason you exist is so I can beat the hell out you and people who know not to mess with me, just like they knew, more so than they knew not to mess with you. That's what that's saying. That's what he's saying here. You only exist to make me look good. And once that's over, you're gone. Why? Because you were made for my sake. And with that, I pass the class over to priest and officer, YAHANNA. Come, no sign trust.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements.
Salam, turn the camera, brother. Turn the camera to you. To the side. Well, turn it to you. Come. Yeah, come. You can do it like that. Come.
We are the I.S.U.P.K, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. My Ishra in the Hebrew, found in the book of Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Purim in the month of February, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th, which is Thursday and Friday. It's in the book of Esther. Salakia.
Yeah, God. Correct. Yeah, just have it. What's called?
Found in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31.
Well, you gotta put that back up. The what's called? Because that's the one for the bulletin. If you need one for the what's called, just like John.
If anyone would like to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot shirt, pants, headband, scarf, and with that, men of Israel, we say Amajim, which means to stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yashabrak Ta, Yajim Matzah, dismiss.
Just do what you gotta do. I'll take care of the table like Yakan.
Slack, so that was. Oh my.
Can you good?